What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 here for another video. So finally, I thought I was one of the lucky ones because I had Ahsoka for a while now. I told myself this is not gonna break. I'm really careful handling her. I know where the elbow's at. I know where the kind of, where the back of the elbow is. So when I move it, I'm really, I guess, mindful on how I rotate it and all that stuff. With that being said, even all that being careful, it still happened. So this is the arm, as you can, and it looks like a clean break, as a matter of fact. So I thought of fixing this initially. It was like, all right, if I glue this, there's no way I can bend the elbow again. There's no way. So I thought of fusing this. So basically on the top, and I've done this in other figures. I'm sorry, it's just black on black here. Here you can put maybe a nail, like a really thin nail, and then put it down here, and then put the other side on the opposite side of the arm, which is stuck somewhere inside here, right? Like it's stuck there. So I thought of doing that. So when I was trying to take that out, you can't. So I dremeled it, and when when you try to dremel something, it would deteriorate. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna stop. I'll stop right there. Just kind of making a thin hole, but it's almost impossible. I tried putting it with the pliers, nothing. Now I saw on YouTube there's a guy who's selling a printed resin of this part right here. So all you gotta do is remove the part on that end and then install the new one, and then you have basically a functioning elbow after that. But it requires a lot of work, so you got to heat this up, remove this, and you can't turn it, you can't twist the arm like this because it's soft. It's a soft resin, so you might break it still. So, but you could have the elbow bending, like the normal one. But I was just like, you know what? It kind of sucks. I've had this for 3 months, so I can't even return it, even if I want to, because most companies like 30 days. I bought it at Big Bad Toy Store, by the way, which for the most part where I buy most of my hot toys, as you guys know. So I was just like, you know what? It's 30 days. Let me give it a shot. Let me email them and see if they could find me a replacement or if I can return it. Email them. They said, the usual, hey, it's more than 30 days and it's sold out, so there's no replacements whatsoever. And I was expecting that. So I emailed again. I was just like, hey, can you make a one-time exception for this? And mind you, I already know this in the comments. They're going to be like, hey, you know what? They did it for you because you do videos for them. You're sponsored and all that stuff. Trust me, they don't know who I am. I'm not Sharktimus Prime. I'm not Optibottomus. I'm not one of those big YouTubers that they know by name. They don't. I talk to customer service. Didn't mention that whatsoever. I'm not that type of guy who will, who do that. Even if I did that, it was going to be so embarrassing. It was like, what? Do you guys know I make videos for you? And they'd be like, who are you? So I didn't even do that. I was just trying to be nice. Like and that's how I normally, tackle things in life. I try to be nice and see if it works out. And trust me, it does. Whether you're in the airport, any issue, especially if they're within their policy, you're not gonna win. So I gave it a shot. So I was like, why not? And lo and behold, the person that I talked to, shout out to Kellen, she's really nice, very helpful, and she did mention, was like, hey, you know what? It's been more than 3 months, and that is understandable. It's just like, we don't have the parts anymore. However, if you really want to, you can return this. And she gave me an option, whether pay using how I paid, which is mostly within my credit card, or we can give you a store credit. I felt like I buy from them all the time anyway. Let me get a store credit. I got tons of pre-order, but this is what I'm talking about. If you buy, sometimes it is cheaper to buy elsewhere. You buy it from overseas, it's cheaper, and that's fine. I do that every once in a while. However, for things like this, and I've said this to Iron Man, if you know a figure has an issue, don't gamble, because the chances of you returning an item if you bought it overseas or from a not so reputable dealer is almost slim to none. Look at this situation. It's been 3 months. Normally they wouldn't take it, but they make an exception. and now I'm getting a store credit. Basically, I just have to pay for shipping. Again, my affiliation with them has nothing to do with this. I can show you guys the email interaction that I had with a customer service representative, and you can see anyone could have done that. Like I didn't shout though. I didn't be like, hey, you know, I'm a valued customer. I've been shopping here for 10 years. How, you know, it's like, no, that doesn't work. At least for me, you know. So for me, it's always you attract bees with honey, and it worked. It worked. So just a piece of advice. I'm not saying buy everything, you know, because I know sometimes it's more expensive to buy here in the US. You pay tax, shipping, and all that stuff. But for certain figures who has issues, it might be worth looking into something like this. But thank you for watching, guys. I'm not gonna fix this. I'll send it back to Big Bad, and you know, let them handle this. I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but it's a one-time courtesy. And again, thank you for Kelly. Shout out to her for really accommodating me in this issue. Thank you again, guys, and till next video.